What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, coming at you with another Addict review. Today we're going to be reviewing Moonlighters. Moonlighters came out for the Switch, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. This game's out at the moment. I think it came out like the beginning of last month or something. First thing I want to say is this is by far one of the best games I've played this year. This is one of those games that's really enjoying to play. It's hard to really explain this game. This game's kind of like a dungeon crawler. What's people call when a game that's randomly generated, roguelike. That you take what you get in the dungeon crawlers, and as much as this sounds weird, a merchant simulator, like a store simulator, where you have to like manage how much stuff is, manage how much you want to sell stuff. Sometimes you overbid, sometimes you overbid. The way that works is you'll get like this little smiley system where it's a smiley face if you got a good deal. It's like kind of a frowny face if you got a little bit high deal, and it's a complete frown face. If it's way too much, or you'll get these little gold eye face when they stole it from you, pretty much, because that's how good of a deal it was. One thing I want to say is the story is about your dad used to own this store. He passed away. And you like to adventure into these dimensions. These dimensions, I'm not going to go too much into the actual story part of it, but these dimensions have a huge part in the story. I'm not going to really go into why you're going into these dimensions. It is randomly generated. So every time you go into the dimension, it might not be the same. Now, the good thing that makes this game is you'll go into a certain aspect. You'll go into one of these dungeons. You'll fight through the dungeon. Then they give you these items to leave the dungeon. Now, when you leave the dungeon, you sell the stuff that you got. You upgrade your equipment. You upgrade your store. You can have more store space, more tables. You can get these displays. You can buy weapons. You can buy potions. You can buy different kinds of weapons. This game has a good selection of weapons. Then you go right back in. You do it again. I gotta hand it to them, man. This game's good. It's one of the best indie games I've played. I enjoy playing this game, and I think everyone that watches this video would enjoy it. I don't think there's one person that would not enjoy this game. Maybe if you didn't like, dungeon crawler games, because, when you kill a person, like as you can see right here, this is one of the dungeons. It's called the Tech Dungeon. Now, what you do in here is, every dungeon has 3 floors. So as you can see, you can read up the blueprint. Once you kill these people, what you'll get is you'll get stuff to. Now I have the long sword, so I'm pretty bulk and strong up front, but I'm not really mobile, because the long sword does take some of your mobility away. Now see how I pick stuff up. Now I'm probably gonna go into my inventory here in a minute. Now this is like a room where you go to heal yourself. There's one in every floor. And usually the floor that it'll go to. Now the good thing about this game is you keep going back to the dungeons, you keep getting money, you keep getting stronger, and you keep fighting your way until one time you can go through all 3 floors. So when you get to the 3rd floor, there'd be a boss room. It's in the 3rd floor somewhere. Now when you go into that room, you start the boss fight. And then that boss fight can be pretty hectic. There's 4 dungeons, and there's and there's a 5th dungeon after you beat the 4th dungeon. This game's good. I have to say this is the best game you can play right now that's an indie. I feel like indies are really hitting it out of the park. They're being unique. It's like I said, this is the only merchant simulator I've ever seen. But this is Gaming Addict. It's been a pleasure. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm out.